When it comes to comfort food, few dishes capture the spirit of home and celebration quite like sweet potato casserole. This dish, often gracing tables during holiday feasts, balances earthy sweetness, creamy textures, and a decadent topping that can turn even the staunchest savory food lover into a sweet potato devotee. But what makes a sweet potato casserole truly unforgettable? Is it the rich, buttery filling, the crunchy, sugary topping, or the subtle harmony between spice and sweetness? Today, we'll take a journey into crafting what might just be the sweetest, most mouth-watering sweet potato casserole recipe ever, one that honors tradition while inviting a new level of indulgence. Let's begin with the foundation, the sweet potatoes themselves. Start by selecting plump, vibrant orange sweet potatoes with smooth skin free from blemishes. These will yield the creamiest, most flavorful filling. Give them a good scrub under cold running water, then pierce each potato with a fork several times to allow steam to escape during baking. Place them on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and roast in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on their size. Roasting rather than boiling is key here. It intensifies the natural sugars, coaxing out a caramelized richness that forms the heart of this casserole. Once the sweet potatoes are fork tender and their skins are puffed and slightly charred, remove them from the oven and let them cool just enough to handle. Peel away the skins, revealing the soft orange flesh beneath. It's this moment, with the sweet aroma wafting through your kitchen, that hints at the magic yet to come. Transfer the roasted sweet potato flesh to a large mixing bowl. The next step is to build that iconic velvety filling. Mash the sweet potatoes until smooth, using a potato masher or a handheld mixer for extra creaminess. To this vivid orange mash, add a generous dose of unsalted butter, at least half a cup, melted. The butter melts into the warm potatoes, enriching their flavor and lending a luxurious mouthfeel. Now, for the sweetness, granulated sugar and brown sugar both play a role here. The granulated sugar offers clean sweetness, while the brown sugar brings a hint of molasses and depth. For the sweetest version, don't shy away from using up to a full cup of sugar in total, adjusting to your taste. Next, incorporate a splash of pure vanilla extract, about 1 to 2 teaspoons, which enhances the natural sweetness and brings a fragrant, almost floral note to the mix. Eggs are the glue that binds this custardy filling, helping it set while still remaining soft and luscious. Lightly beat 2 large eggs and fold them into the mixture. For added creaminess, pour in half a cup of heavy cream or evaporated milk. This elevates the texture, making every bite impossibly smooth and rich. To round out the flavors, sprinkle in a pinch of salt, which intensifies the sweetness, and a warming medley of spices: cinnamon for warmth, nutmeg for a subtle nuttiness, and just a hint of ground ginger for a gentle zing. If you like a bit more complexity, a dash of allspice or cloves can be added. But be careful not to overpower the natural flavor of the sweet potatoes. With the filling complete, spoon it into a greased baking dish, smoothing the top with a spatula. Now comes the pièce de résistance, the topping. While some may favor marshmallows, the sweetest sweet potato casserole calls for a buttery, nutty streusel that provides both crunch and decadence. In a medium bowl, combine all-purpose flour, brown sugar, and a generous helping of chopped pecans. The pecans add not just crunch, but a toasty, caramel-like flavor that pairs beautifully with the sweet potatoes beneath. Add cold, cubed butter, about half a stick, and use your fingertips or a pastry cutter to work it into the dry ingredients until the mixture resembles coarse crumbs. For an extra sweet touch, mix in a handful of sweetened shredded coconut, which toasts as the casserole bakes, adding another layer of texture and flavor. Sprinkle the streusel evenly over the sweet potato filling, pressing some bits gently into the surface for an even bake. For those who can't resist the allure of marshmallows, feel free to scatter miniature marshmallows over the top alongside the streusel, or reserve them for the last few minutes of baking to avoid burning. Bake the casserole in a preheated 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, until the filling is set, the topping is golden brown, and the kitchen smells of butter, sugar, and spice. If using marshmallows, broil for an extra minute or two at the end until they are puffed and toasted to a beautiful golden hue. Let the casserole cool slightly before serving. This brief rest allows the flavors to meld and the filling to firm up just enough so that each spoonful holds together, revealing the contrast between the creamy base and crackling top. What emerges from the oven is a dish that's pure celebration. The filling is intensely sweet, almost dessert-like, with a silky texture that melts on the tongue. The topping crackles under the spoon, releasing a shower of toasted nuts, buttery crumbs, and, if included, gooey marshmallow. Every bite is a study in contrasts, warm against cool, creamy against crunchy, sweet against just a whisper of spice. But what truly makes this sweet potato casserole the sweetest isn't just the sugar. It's the way each ingredient is chosen to amplify the natural, earthy sweetness of the potatoes themselves. The roasting step coaxes out caramel notes. The brown sugar deepens the flavor profile. The vanilla and spices create a sense of warmth and nostalgia. The rich dairy and eggs create a custard-like consistency that feels indulgent yet familiar. And the topping transforms it from a simple side dish into something memorable, worthy of any holiday spread, yet easy enough to make for a Sunday dinner. For those who crave even more sweetness, consider drizzling the finished casserole with a touch of maple syrup or honey just before serving. Alternatively, fold in a handful of golden raisins or dried cranberries to the filling for little pops of fruity sweetness. If you're feeling adventurous, a splash of bourbon or a dash of orange zest can add a sophisticated twist, enhancing both the aroma and the flavor. Sweet potato casserole is more than just a dish. It's a tradition, a comfort, a reminder of family gatherings and festive tables. But with this recipe, it becomes something even more. A dessert-worthy centerpiece that delights and surprises, no matter the occasion. As you serve it, watch the way your guests' faces light up, the way they go back for seconds, the way laughter and conversation fill the air. That's the true sweetness of this casserole. Not just in the sugar, but in the memories you create around the table, in the stories shared over each spoonful, in the sense of warmth and togetherness that only the best comfort food can inspire. So the next time you're searching for the sweetest sweet potato casserole, remember that it's not just about the ingredients. It's about the love, care, and joy you bring to the kitchen. With every step, from roasting the potatoes to sprinkling the last crumb of streusel, you're crafting something more than a recipe. You're crafting a tradition, a memory, and perhaps the sweetest dish your table has ever known.